This year I am growing this marvelous balcony container garden. And I chose to grow vegetables in my balcony garden. And I'm growing yellow squash, okra, and yellow beans. So in this video, I'm going to tell you some of the trials I had and the things I learned, and also just how to grow a marvelous vegetable garden on your balcony in containers. We get enough squash from these plants that we can eat them pretty much every other day. And then on the other days, we can have the okra. I love my rooftop garden. I've also got some yellow beans because it's hard to get yellow beans in the store. And I love yellow or waxed beans, the way they taste. The interesting thing is, even though I'm growing vegetables, I did get to grow some magnificent flowers because the squash blossoms are so beautiful. And also the okra flowers are just heavenly. They're just so special. And of course, the beans have the prettiest little flowers that are so intricate. I'm really, really happy with my container garden now that I've learned how to grow it. After I go for my daily morning walk, I come up the back stairs to my balcony top garden. And it has grown so much that there's hardly anywhere for me to stand here anymore. Their leaves are so huge that I even had to put some pots over on the landing because there just wasn't enough room for them here. I like to come up here in the morning before it gets too hot, also to check out if they need some water. It has been so hot here that I had to water even 4 times a day. Now, if you look online, you'll find out that in the heat of summer, it's not unusual for plants like this squash to wilt. Even my okra, this is an okra here. This is a plant that's a southern plant. I came up here one day, it was just terrible. It was so badly wilted. I decided to do an experiment and see if I watered them, if they would no longer wilt, and they came back to life. So this wasn't a question of sunlight, it was a question of them actually being parched. And the reason is that these are growing in containers on a balcony. And that means these containers have air all the way around them and underneath them. If the containers were on the ground would keep them a bit cooler. But these containers, if it's 100 degrees out, the whole container is 100 degrees, and the whatever moisture it has is just evaporating like crazy off the top, off the drain holes and the bottom. So they were in a really, really bad way. And like I said, I had to learn the hard way that they needed to be watered. then I had to learn the hard way that they needed fertilizer. Fortunately, my daughter is very successful with her container garden, and she said, "Mom, you need to give them fertilizer." When I made a garden down on the ground, I used to have chickens, and I used chicken manure, which is just about the best fertilizer you can get on earth. But I don't have chickens now, and I don't want to put any kind of manure in these containers up here, so I bought some organic fertilizer. And about every week I've got to put it on, because as soon as these leaves start getting yellow, then you know they've got poor nutrition and they need some more fertilizer. So I try just to be proactive and fertilize them just about every week. This is the fertilizer I use, BioLive 542. I get it from Amazon. The link is down below in the description. And you should know it has a bit of an odor of fish. And that, to me, is a really good sign, because I have used fish emulsion fertilizer before, and it's very, very good. The problem with the fish emulsion is that it's a liquid, and then you put it in the water that you're watering the plants with, and then after that the watering can smells like fish. But this is a powder, and I just take it out of the box in my hand and sprinkle it there. Can you see that? And then I just sprinkle it on the soil. To me, the fertilizer is really important, because since these plants are producing so many squashes and okra nonstop, I think of them as being constantly pregnant. And having been pregnant 4 times myself, 3 children and 1 miscarriage, I know how important nutrition is. And so I put the fertilizer on once a week or every other week, and then I water it right in. The water is really important, because the fertilizer needs to go in solution and then seep down into the earth, because that's where the roots are. And you know, a plant eats with its roots. I mean, it doesn't, but it absorbs all the nutrients through the little root hairs at the tip of the roots. So anyway, this has been working really well for me. It's Caroline Chapman, and I'm the author of When We Were Gods, which is a chronicle of my past life memories of the marvelous world of Atlantis. While I was writing the book, I received a visit from an otherworldly being, Pan, Lord of the Wild. He said that he had a message for mankind, and he wanted to be in the book. So I gave him a chapter in the book. And Pan said that nature really needed our help. And amazingly, what nature wants the most from us is appreciation for all that it does for us. And he made the suggestion that we all grow something. And you know, when you grow something, you find out it's not that easy to make things grow. In my video on growing this little container garden up on my balcony, I had a number of failures, but then I had to find out what to do to make them work. And it did really help me to appreciate all that nature does, because just think of that woods behind me. it's not going through the kind of trouble I had to go through of watering, fertilizing, pollinating, all the things I had to do. But in any case, I think that Pan's message, that was just part of it, and I think it's very important. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment.